we're going to talk about this entitlement mess. That I laugh at you people whining, crying about it because you're the one caused it. You know, we as the me. Who gave us that scandalization? It was people who took care of us, who didn't want us to have nothing, who want us to serve them and put them on a pedestal like a god or goddesses. You, yes, your parents, grandparents, whatever. You have respect, respect and honor, but they don't mean to go in the room that they can walk all over us like eggshells. You old school people always talk about family values, and you want people, every family, to unite like you that God just died, and you think you have that type of authority to try to enforce that. That's not your business getting other people's family affairs. Do you remember to mind your business in Thessalonians that St. Paul told us to mind your business? Okay. And so the reason why I brought that up because I ain't the perfect one, but I've been solid, and I'm going to teach those who claim to be holy now. Don't forget in Matthew 10, I think it's a 30-something, where Jesus said that he will put a sword in the family, and you know, your mother and father and sister, brother would go against you, something like that, and the next thing that you're, if you love them more than him, as like, for example, they tell you to do something wrong, including hating some of a different race, I'll bring that up as well. You show you don't have no authority. I mean, you're not worthy of him. You're not his disciple. Many of y'all put your parents, even when they're wrong. So, and y'all always tell your mama, I made you. Excuse me, don't forget that we're God's children first. Then we're your kids. I hope one people understand that. So I'm glad that Matthew 10 verse represent that. Then you have those who are power trippy, the edge of his parents, domineering, controlling grandparents. Even when you turn 18 and older, they still have try to have some type of control. They brought you into the world, and I will admit, I don't care if you're probably sitting or not, I'm a scoffer, letting God handle me. You know what I'm saying? That you wouldn't get hated on and mistreated, you would insult. Hey, that's in Proverbs 9:7, 9, and also 15 and 12. And y'all claim y'all know the scriptures, but y'all sure don't practice those verses when it comes to someone like myself and the people like myself, who don't like to be corrected, especially for those who need more correction than I do. Basically, they act like savage wolves in sheep clothing. Getting back to what I'm saying, it was Galatians 4. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? That defends adulthood. We don't no longer have to obey our parents. We of age. We're no longer a slave. It talks about that stuff, and it's not the actual words in their verse, but read it. You claim to be holy and thou, claim to be righteous. You don't even live righteous. You live like a savage wolf in sheep clothing. So, you who claim to be so conservative and want people to work, well, many of us were 18, 19, and 20 and older want to work. And who you with same mentality as the extra parents and grandparents who somehow got some type of authority in some wicked manner didn't want that person to have a job. They was willing to do everything they want to do, sacrifice their life, and you, the family, come first. So now these people who don't have nowhere to stay, and they end up going on public housing, food stamps, they become bipolar like myself. You contribute to it. You didn't want people like myself 20 years ago to be independent from family who was abusive, who were controlling, who were like the savage wolves in sheep clothing, who provoked us to anger that came and make us a scourge, as St. Paul said in Galatians 3:21, something like that. Yeah, and I think Ephesians 6:4. Thank you. So therefore, you cannot talk about God and family and all that. All that debunk your stupid rhetoric. So, now you're whining about a entitlement epidemic where people live on the government, live with their parents, don't do nothing because you didn't want none of us to have an independent lifestyle, independent from your mentality, independent from your belief system. You were scared that we'll prove you wrong, that we don't need your stupid Theotrophus. If you know who Theotrophus is, what was it, 3rd John? The one that got kicked out for trying to dominate people, that's y'all. Yeah, okay, like no different than Ezekiel 34, who would lord over and hurt people, and he called it claim that love. And last time I checked was at 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Love is not quick to rude, the New American Version, right? So you rude to me and break me and yell at me and want to put some hands on me. That's definitely not love according to the Bible. So you are the one who caused that mess. If you would mind your business and let us go on our way, and if we put in judgment of God being a scoffer, let him handle that. Didn't St. Paul read and said in Romans, reading from Isaiah, that he was found by those who didn't seek and ask for him, and he wasn't talking about him as a man, as you know what I'm saying, or anybody else. He was talking about the Lord Almighty, God Almighty. So I don't need no human who's wicked in their ways, who think that in some way, think that because back in the day that culture accepted it and tried to brainwash your religion. That's why you have folks believing in separation church and state. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the extras trying to teach the word of God, and they're not even trying to clean up their doggone life. Until they get their act together, maybe somebody will follow the example. Then St. Peter told the elders, which is the presbyters, Greek word for priests, in the first, in his first letter in the chapter, that don't lord over, be example of the flock. And y'all chose love to lord over with your pleasure, like a bunch of king of Gentiles that Jesus was against. Lord over them. Whoever wants to be a leader has to serve the people, not the other way around. Not to get served from everybody else. They're supposed to serve the people. Ain't none of y'all live by that. Y'all live by a bunch of wolf in sheep clothing, a bunch of Pharisee scribes, a bunch of demonic people who's an angel, or a thing to be an angel light when you're a demon in sheep's clothing. That's exactly a wolf in sheep's clothing, a goat. You're nothing. You have no mercy in your actions. Even a person do screw up. You think I supposed to listen? You talking about forgiving, but you don't live that your way, and you're claiming to be holy in me. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You didn't show mercy to me. Don't. You're very rude and cruel. You want to chew me and speak me out. That is not of the Lord. I don't care what wolf and sheep clothing preacher told you that. That wasn't. You will be merciful as Jesus in 6th chapter of Luke, right? So if you're more holy than I am, and you're more better than I am, why I don't see it in your fruit, your bad fruit? You caused the epidemic entitlement. You made folks dependable on the government and their families. You put a child dependency and use your family-oriented mess to cause that. So therefore, regardless if I don't want to see my family or not, that's not your business. You don't correct, and also not everybody presumed to be a teacher. Remember, that's in the American version of the chapter 3 of James. You're not a teacher. Your actions, you're not even have that gift that Paul was describing. So please, shut up about that epidemic stuff. You caused that. If you, back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, let people who were young adults live as adults, make their own minds, and live their way without you interfere, trying to be selfish, because you had that me attitude, and you try to go along with those who believe your old school me attitude, and also that old domineering, rigid me attitude. Maybe we didn't have to go through this mess. Because you think that 20 years ago I wanted to be on the government system? Heck no, I want to cuss because I say some Bible verses. No, I didn't. I wanted my own stuff. And who was the one that came to me and told me the family must be together, and you being selfish trying to get away from your family? It was y'all. If you would have minded your business, I would have had everything I needed. I know what I want. I know what's best for me. I live this body. You don't live in this body. So I know what was best for me. Shoots. And you think you're supposed to correct everybody. No, if you're so more holy now, you know you ain't supposed to correct a scoffer. Y'all forgot them verses. You was trying to teach your little rivalry in the Bible. You weren't being holy, you're trying to do rivalry, huh? Remember Paul talks about that too? Show that. I read the scriptures too, and I know exactly. That's why I don't listen to what you guys say, because your actions speak differently from what you're supposed to believe in. So if you're trying to pick a split out of mine, take that well-being out of your eye first before you start telling me what I cannot do, and what I supposed to cannot do. I'm not going to listen to someone who's a hypocrite just because their culture back in the day taught that mess. I don't live that mess. So that's what I have to say. All your stupid entitlement and epidemic videos and mentality, you caused that. You had that me, and tried to stop a person from coming up. Okay? Whether it been your racial superiority or whatever, or your religious superiority, you caused that. We didn't cause that because we didn't want to live yesterday ways. And men, like for example, I live in Texas. My dream was to go to New York, liberal town, not considered KK state. And you, what you did all you could and harass me, stay at home. I don't want to stay with my family. I want my own stuff, so I won't be in an entitlement epidemic. have my own stuff, have my own car, have everything that is under my name, not my family name. So I wouldn't need to live in there, but I won't let the authority in a separation family hurt your feelings. That's not your business to get involved. And I said it again, it does talk about separating the family with that sword. Okay? And your families can be your enemies. I'm the prime example of that. In Matthew 10, there are my enemies. And it wasn't your business being some busybodies trying to tell me how to live my life. You caused that. So don't talk about no religion and family and people blood sucking the government. You wanted that to happen. You was intimidated by me being independent. Especially someone like me. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Not nobody mama tell me what to do. I don't care about coming off someone who, or someone contribute to me coming into someone who want to hurt me and claim his love. Did I say love is not Christian, rule no injury? So they're going to talk all that religious stuff to them. I don't want to hear it. Okay? So, you stupid entitlement videos, I use Bible verses to debunk your stupid argument. You caused that scandalization in employment back in the recession days. That's why folks have to go back home. They enjoy living independent from the family. They want to buy it around their body, and they're grown. Who wants to live that mess? You live that mess, kudos to you. But you had that me to stop that situation. So since you got that me attitude, guess who wrote it off on how we got it? How did we get that information from you? We copycat the same attitude you taught us. So now, look who's selfish and whining about taking care of somebody who's grown who don't want to work. Well, I'm not that type of person. I do believe in working, and I do plan to have my own business. You wanted power. That's exactly what you wanted. So guess, at least, yeah, I don't know. I'm my own leader. I don't want nobody telling me to do it, and I want my own power, but I will work with those who are for it, not against it. You go at the people who don't want nothing to do with your stupid ideology. It's stupid. You go at the people who want to hear. You don't yoke with non-believers, right? You chose to yoke with those who didn't want to believe your mess. So, go someplace else with those who believe that and have your little cliques who believe that and complain about entitlement. But don't point the finger at those who did try to do something in their life and still trying to. But you ever keep putting stone blocks in their path just to make you happy. You like it when they're sitting here and don't have nothing they need. It makes you feel good with your arrogance. Ain't nothing godly about that either. So if you're holding I am, prove me wrong by not doing the things you want to do to me.